Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Monday. It's the 11th day of actually April. Am I correct? And you are tuned into and listening to another episode of Voices on WINNFM 98.9 on the FM dial. My name is Socrates, host of today's program, saying good morning to our listening and viewing audience on the various platforms around the globe. But first, we're going to pause for a word from our sponsors, and then we come back. And we have a hot topic for discussion today, so please stay tuned to Voices.
Campari orange, easy fi win. Brother he no hard it, easy fi win. Campari he no cup, easy fi win. Brother he no hard it, easy fi win. Add the Campari with your orange juice. That easy, bitter had the pre. Simple mixer, easy 1-3. Campari orange, that easy fi win. Fi mix a Campari orange, add 1 pot Campari with 3 parts orange juice. Drink at the bar, on the beach, or when a girl reach. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop www.shoptdcgroup.com.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Okay, we are back, and once again, good morning to the world, those locally, those around the globe, because we are large and living around the world today. Our topic is entitled Boundaries, and we're discussing boundaries that you shouldn't cross when you visit other people's country. There's a clip that's making the rounds over the past 2 days. Came out of Nevis, where some coach and probably teachers would have taken some children who were preparing for the inter-school sports, taking them to a beach in Nevis, and they were actually running back and forth during the exercise. And this visitor, let's start, she's a tourist. Whether she owns property here or not, she had a problem with the kids running on the beach. She's here as a visitor. The kids are on the beach in Nevis, preparing through exercise for the inter-school sports. And this lady, this Caucasian visitor, decided to stop them. And when she was not encouraged with her protests, I think she tried to call the police to have the kids removed from the beach. And against the protests of people standing by, she went and lay in the path of where the kids were running. One almost stumbled because he was that close. She was that close to her and almost stumbled. And so the kids are running back and forth, but they're running around her now because she's laying straight in the tracks where these kids are running. And there's an article here, a related article, and I'm going to read from it because I think this thing needs to be discussed. This is ridiculous. And I read, this is the beautiful Caribbean island of Nevis. Woman reportedly apologized, husband to give financial donation. This is after the fact. Here's a story. The female Caucasian visitor to Nevis has reportedly apologized after chasing or causing a stir on the small, tranquil island of Nevis, best known for its hospitality, when she apparently became annoyed that children were running along one of the best beaches. I understand she got peeved that local children were running around disturbing her relaxation and allegedly ordered them off the beach. Something just make you want to laugh, eh? The kids who were training for inter-primary school athletic games refused, and this person, or the person known only as Karen, allegedly called the police to have them removed. I have to laugh. I'll continue. Frustrated, the Caucasian woman threw herself on the sand in an apparent attempt to prevent the children from the nearby school to continue their practice. I heard that the female visitor has apologized and her husband has reportedly promised to make a financial donation to the school. I want to discuss this today. I know sometimes I don't come with a topic, but I need us to discuss this because this is really, really ridiculous. I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but she's actually standing with her hands on the hip, and she's peeved that the kids are running on her beach. That's how I can see it. It's her beach. And I don't care if you own property, you do not own the beach. But my understanding is she's a visitor on vacation, and the kids running on the beach in their homeland, preparing for inter-school athletics, peeved her to the point that she called the police. Haven't we heard that story before? I've seen it on the media houses, like CNN, etc., where people walking peacefully, people having a barbecue. Are we talking about black people? We're talking about black people around the globe. I know white people are calling police for them. But this is Nevis. This is Nevis. Now, over a year ago, I think it was pre-COVID, so probably 2 years ago, there was an incident on Port Zante where a taxi driver was seen as boxing down a tourist. And just about everybody weighed in and gave him wrong. Okay, I saw the clip. I spoke to the gentleman. I got his side of things. And what he said, there was an issue with payments. And the tourist was inebriated. He was a bit drunk. And he decided to kick the guy. He decided to kick the local taxi driver. And the local guy gave him a left hand and landed him on the ground. Everybody went up and, you can't hit the tourist, you can't do that, you can't. We're talking about boundaries. So you have to know which boundaries not to cross and when not to cross them. The adage about the customer being right all the time, that is not my philosophy. We understand tourism is vital to our country, and we have to sometime step back and allow the tourists their peace and relaxation because we want to sell the destination. Boundaries. They have to know what boundaries not to cross. How dare you come to the Federation, relaxing on the beach or not, kids running back and forth. Whether they're exercising or they have a right to be there, the beaches are public. And for you to call the police on the children and then laying the path of where they're running is a bridge too far. So the husband decided to donate financial. That does not wash it. You guys need to know your boundaries. Second, well, the third incident I want to bring up, it was about 2 years ago maybe. I watched another video clip where a tourist in the lobby of the Marriott Hotel is beating a police officer. And people try to hold him back. And police officers, others, a uniformed police officer, they're standing like they don't know what to do. Boundaries. Any local person who have a front saw, the police officer, they shackle them and take him away. This guy is slapping the police officer, the one even kicking the police officer in the lobby. Well, here's what. I don't condone violence, but I'm saying this. Had Socrates been there, I would have been arrested. And the police officer who was there standing around like they don't know what to do, I would have known what to do. You don't come here or go to anybody's country, I cannot do that, and slap around a uniformed police officer. So because you're a tourist or you're a big spender, you come to St. Kitts and decide to slap a police officer? You serious? So let's look at the 3 incidents. The Marriott Hotel, this tourist, for whatever reason, decide to beat a police officer. And they're like they don't know what to do. I know that's one boundary that they will not cross with me. Austin and Port Sante, and everybody came out and condemned it. As a matter of fact, at a certain meeting, it was being determined that he should be punished, he should be sanctioned. And one of the directors in that same meeting said to this then CEO, let me tell you something. Had that been me, that tourist kicked or whatever it is, I would have been arrested. The matter with Austin is still being, I would say, litigated. Because the tourism board took a certain decision or position on the matter, and he consulted his lawyers, and the matter is still being addressed in court, because that's nonsense. They actually sanctioned him from working for a period of time. Sanction the man from getting his daily bread because a tourist kicked him and he decided to give him a left hand. They need to know what boundaries not to cross. That incident in Nevis a couple of days ago is really, really ridiculous, and it bothers me. I am being told, well, Socrates would like to see your show because you're normally calm, cool, and collected. Nah. This is nonsense. What mindset does she have or they have in coming to the Federation to feel that you can take that attitude, that stand to stop children, to call the police, as a matter of fact, on children running on the beach, preparing for inter-school athletics, kids. Even if they were adults, you're out of order. And people need to establish what boundaries to cross. Yes, we are a tourism destination. There's a big difference between service and servitude. We are service providers, but you also have to understand the mindset. When you come here, be respectful. Right? I forget his name at the moment, but he wrote a book called Quitting America. Randolph, what's his last name? I forget. U.S. author, civil rights activist, Randolph, I'm going to get it. And he spoke about coming to St. Kitts, and he's in a certain hotel restaurant and noting how the visitor is being so condescending to the servers and this and that. He had an issue with that. He had an issue with that. He's an American, but coming out here and seeing, he's a civil rights activist, so he knows all the signs of racism, etc., and he had a problem with that. He wrote a book about quitting America, moving and living in St. Kitts. And he's the husband of Hazel Ross Robinson. Yes, Randolph Robinson. Very tall, distinguished gentleman. And these are issues he discussed. It's paradise. You're welcome to share in my slice of paradise, but walk with the manners. Walk with the manners. You understand? I could not be walking by on the beach. I am glad I wasn't there because my reaction would have been uncontrollable. In a case where the police were being beaten in the Marriott, even though they're supposed to defend themselves, I would have jumped in. It's a sense of national pride that you're insulting. And I don't take that lightly. I have had to tell certain tourists exactly where to get off. I provide a service to you. We have cordial relationships based on how you approach me. I'm not stepping fetching. I'm a businessman. I provide a service to you. And when you come here, be respectful. You get the same thing in return. Our natural thing is good morning, good afternoon. We don't care who you are. We're very friendly. Hi, hello, good morning. And sometimes they say, good morning, oh, we don't need a taxi. I wasn't asking for, I just said good morning. That's how we were in St. Kitts. So when you come, you respect that. How dare you come with a mindset that you're on a beach in Nevis or St. Kitts, and children running on the beach is disturbing you, so you're going to call the police to remove them. And when that don't happen, you lay in the path of the kids running back and forth. I think I need to pause here for a word for sponsors and come back and then open up the lines, because this needs to be debated.
Low on cash? Get exactly what you want this Easter with a loan of up to $50,000 cash from TDC Financial Services Limited. Consolidation? No problem. Renovations? No problem. Shopping? No problem. Get exactly what you want this Easter at TDC Financial Services Limited, where money is made easy.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Delicious. Lightly salted, tasty, and oh so fresh.
Delicious, multigrain, crispy, full of flavor, and so guilt-free.
Licious, buttery blend, golden brown, melts in your mouth, and of course, you just want more.
Things that make you go, Licious, the new snack cracker from Wabisco. Buttery blend, multigrain, or lightly salted. Ready to snack straight from the pack. Try them today.
And the topic today is boundaries. We're discussing the whole issue of our visitors to the Federation and what boundaries they should not try to cross. What happened on Nevis over the weekend. And for those who missed it, I'm going to read the article again, but the lines are open. If I see hi on the phone, notification on the phone. I need people to call me direct to discuss this. Chris Collins, if you're listening, I need your feeling. Okay, we have a call on the line. Caller, your live in voices. Good morning.
Greetings, CV9S.
Good morning, caller. I'm not hearing you.
Yes, greetings, Kingston. Greetings.
I can vaguely hear you. I can hear you barely saying good morning.
Greetings, Kingston. But may I hear you? May I hear you clearly?
Okay. I don't use my connection. I can barely hear. Go ahead. I'll see what I can pick up.
No, tell me if you're hearing me, man, because I want to be heard. You hearing me?
Barely. I know the voice, so I will welcome your comments. But I'm barely hearing you.
No, but others are listening. Me want that you're hearing. Tell me. Even if it's you're hearing the word. You're hearing the word.
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Give thanks for bringing the topic to the fore. And, we love your personal stand formation, And your personal stand formation move us to look on the situation in some wide ways. Because
yes, sir.
There was once in our life where people of other race, that race there was problem to us. But it is not so no more. If there's any problem, I going to be a problem to them.
I hear you.
Yes, and it's all about knowing yourself. And most of the things, a lot of the things that we have got through as a people, it is because of our low self-esteem. If we know ourselves as a people, these things can go on.
Quite so.
Me I hear the individual stand formation here and there, but there's not a collective, which means there is people who look like we. But it's part of the mental slavery. They're like roast breadfruit. So therefore now, that esteem that they should have within themselves, them don't have it. And people, other races know this. This is a knowledge that is out there with people. People know. Because the flexing from people who look like we, but live differently, it is quite obvious. You see me? So when these things are happening, if we set a president, if we set a vibration, put Moon, Sam and Bagay, me not talk about, when I say we, me talk about it come from all of we. You see me?
I hear you.
Whereby, so and so go so and so and so and so, no for go so and so. When we said that, them people they're not going to even go try because we've been through the physical enslavement for 400 and odd years, ain't it?
Yes.
Good. No, I'm just sure you don't hear the saying say, never again. You don't hear it.
Did you say that?
The point they make, is that never again come from a stand formation that the physical change from hand and foot and neck. Them the see it happening again because of the time that the era that we in, the era.
I follow you.
Huh?
I follow you. I understand.
But at the same time, the mental enslavement broad and whatsoever.
That is correct.
Yes. And therein lies the problem.
Therein lies the problem.
Is not with them. The problem is with we. Hear me good,
I hear you, I understand. Because from the video, you have people standing around beseeching with her, trying to explain to her their kids, and they beg, and she's decided to be like, you know what? I'm going to lay in the path of the children to stop them. You out of your mind?
Again, I hear somebody call your name. They are set up a thing that call it hard to jump, something hard to jump. Listen to me now. That lady there did that because she is seeing her free way in doing such. I want you to understand the psyche that is going on.
She feels privileged and she knows she going to get away with it.
Notice everything what she doing. She even lay down. No.
In the path of the children on the beach in Nevis to stop them.
No.
We welcome the visitor, we welcome the tourists, but you need to know your boundaries.
You cannot afford to take these things. I'm going to say we, I've gone forward, because some of you are sight up, but not for we. It's like walking dead. And it's a serious something. It's not them is the problem to the cockroach. And we are the problem.
I understand.
As I said you before, you talk about your personal transformation. Nobody will share that with you. And the way you, me literally but you about 3 times me, So, if a man come try something physical with you, me know say, it's going to be...
It comes down to context. I know when to walk away. I know when to walk away. Right?
No. We know about walking away now.
I know when to walk away. So it's all about context.
To fight if it's necessary. You see me?
Uh-huh.
You know about walking away.
No, I say I know when to walk away. I know when. I know when to walk away. In this context, I'm running to the fight. I am running to this fight. It's a sense of pride, national.
Yes.
And about your race.
Yes.
So there are people on the beach trying to speak to her because they're concerned maybe about the tourism product, and we have to be careful with the tourism industry.
You're in the bed. Here, stick a pen. You use part of it, But the tourism product, is part of mental enslavement, And this is no joke thing, Same servitude in a pretty farm. No, this is no joke thing, Because it's a man with the dignity our dignity. This is an affront. Tourism, as it is an affront to our dignity as a people with a story that we have. This is no joking.
Well, the long and short of it, we have to find ways and means of separating them for their cash for economic development. So there has to be, it's all about strategy, but understanding the boundaries. That is what this topic is about. Boundaries, knowing which one not to cross. That's all it is. Right?
Give thanks for the time, my brother.
With respect.
Love.
With respect. And so we come down to the CBI because we're boasting about how many of our passports we're selling to people of other nationalities. That's fine. But remember the story of King Tegoman. He welcomed the Europeans with open arms. And within 3 short years, he was murdered and his race was... Anyway, to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices.
Hello?
Good morning, sir. Welcome to Voices.
Yes, the King. Good morning.
How are
you
you
today?
Beautiful. I'm okay.
I'm doing great. I'm quite deeply disturbed with the topic that you threw out with what's taken place in Nevis. But let me just add one other incident that have graced our shores. Now, I'm sure you're aware. I mean, you mentioned the taxi, the police officer at the Marriott Hotel and the taxi man at the port. And this new incident in Nevis. This is Journey here. Good morning to our listeners.
Go ahead.
There was a gentleman who lost his life in Anguilla by a couple who visited, and he was in their room and he was shot to death. The King, this is disturbing.
I actually wrote a song about that,
Sorry?
I actually wrote a song about that. I was hoping to go to Anguilla that year and render it, but COVID changed all that. But I wrote a song about that.
Okay. You know, the King, we need to take stock of what is happening.
Yeah, go ahead.
We seriously need to take stock of what is happening now. With all that you mentioned and this that is taking place in Nevis, let me just add something to this. And I'm going to go global with this. By that I mean the war. Ever since this war in Ukraine, right, the King? Now follow me closely. About 400 refugees have left Ukraine. And these 400 million refugees that have fled Ukraine, that includes...
Your figures are wrong. Your figures are wrong. You said 400 million. So you're way off.
About 400 million.
About 4 million,
okay?
so.
This is according to Eastern Europe survey.
They're looking at 4 million around that. Around 4 million roughly.
Yes. Now, I'm saying the King. Earlier when they were fleeing, we learned that about, let's say, 1,000 Ukrainian was placed on train to cross the border. And out of that 1,000, 2 Africans would get on this train. Now look at what is happening today. Today in Eastern Europe, the King. In Eastern Europe, the EU have set up a double standard where they said that they're going to protect refugees. But here's the condition. Because here, for me, I find this is disturbing because they're saying that the black and brown students are being detained and placed in concentration camps. You know?
Currently?
I mean, here is it that the EU has set up a standard where they're saying there is also good refugee and ideal refugee. Those that look like them and those that don't look like them are placed in concentration camps, the King. This is happening in Eastern Europe today. Now, has there been a memo gone around the world? You mentioned what is happening in Nevis. This is in our shores now. When are we going to stand up? Has there been a memo that said that black people are to be disrespected and downtrodden anywhere around the world?
We know the history of that, Johnny. We know the history of that. There doesn't have to be a memo. It's implicit going back over 400 years. So we know the history of that.
Yes, we know all what we know. But when are we going to change this? Now, here we're hearing you talking about this and saying that, oh, we are a welcoming people because what? We want the US dollar. You and I are in the business, the King. You and I are in that business, that industry. Well, when are we going to get out of it? Because whether you want to claim it as servitude or service, yes or not, they don't see it like that. That's why that lady can lay across the beach. Here in the Caribbean, I mean, if you're a racist, don't come to the country. Don't go to a black country. But I've stated before, that the earth belongs to us, and they have put restriction on us. We have to have a visa to travel the earth where they can go anywhere they choose. And look at the disrespect of this woman. The police should round them up and make sure they're expelled out of the country. They should be out of here. And talking about he don't come insult us by paying, donating, and what?
They're trying to say face.
I hear some sarcasm in your voice, and I want you to get rid of it. Be firm and be strong.
You want me to get rid of it?
Be firm and be strong, King. Because this is serious. This ain't no laughing matter. This ain't no laughing matter.
Journey.
You and I are in the industry. I went back out to work in December, and I'm not taking no foolishness from them.
Journey.
I'm not taking no foolishness from them, the King. Let us be real, and let us deal with this situation head on. I mean, can you imagine what is going on in Europe, that our African brothers and sisters are being placed in concentration camps? What are they going to stay there to do? To mine Ukraine that is being destroyed by this war? We need to wake up, the King. This is our future here. This is all about the great reset, the new world order. Huh? Look at how the president welcomed those from Ukraine. He hugged. Social media had him hugging. They always hug those kind, but then they're going to round us up, you and my people, and place them and deport them back. It happened in Haiti. We saw what they did with Haiti, whipping them with horses.
I know that.
We need to be firm, the King. This ain't no laughing matter.
But here's a point to ponder. I want to make guess. Okay, I would have lost a call. But if you're listening, there was a gentleman who was supposed to be here with me last week. He's Haitian, living here, and wanted to come on the program to speak about this stigma he's receiving. He's of the same color here in St. Kitts from nationals. You understand? So there is that issue. So it's a little more broader than the Caucasian versus the Negroid person. It's more than that. But we're dealing today with boundaries because we, like most of the region, we depend on tourism for survival to a very large scale. Right? But we're going to pause now for a word from our kind sponsors and come back and hopefully continue the discussion. Okay.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Enjoy the convenience of getting all your documents in one place. At the TDC Copy and Print Center on 4th Street in Basse-Terre, we do just that. We offer document formatting, graphic design, and copy and print services. Our team of professionals truly understand all your needs, whether it be administrative, professional, academic, or personal. You bring it, we deliver it with quality every time. Visit the TDC Copy and Print Center today in the TDC Mall on 4th Street in Basse-Terre or call 465-2511. Your copy and print specialists are waiting to serve you.
At 25 minutes, moving up to 12 o'clock, we're logged on to Voices, another episode. My name is Socrates, and today we're discussing a topic called boundaries. And we go straight to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Socrates. How are you doing?
Lovely hearing your voice. I missed you last Friday, man.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, you have a bus in the back?
Hello?
You have some construction ongoing in the back there? I hear some noise.
If I have a...
Okay, I can hear you, but there's a little background noise there. I can hear you.
I think it is phone.
It's
I'm not disturbing too much.
I can hear you. Once the listeners can hear, I'm okay, but I can hear you. Go right ahead.
All right, good morning, Journey.
Mm-hmm.
So, Journey, when you go start Rwanda, you know. Journey is a Rwanda man, you know.
Is that so?
Us and them.
Yeah. But
Now,
go talk to me.
I don't know if you recall some years ago when they were looking investors for the Southeast Peninsula. The gentleman, I forgot what his name was on another radio station advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And he read from his brochure, and he was offering over at Park Hyatt private beaches.
Oh.
You know about that?
No, I know about the Sandals incident where they left because they wanted to have concussion at the private beach.
So I called in on the radio station and asked the gentleman if he know what he's talking about. I said, there are no private beaches in St. Kitts.
Officially?
So he said, well, you know, it's just a marketing thing. So but you see what happened?
If they come with that expectation, it's not just a marketing thing.
If you tell them if you buy shares or whatever in things, you have a private beach. They were trying to make over their private beach.
Mm-hmm.
It is the people who invest in selling the idea.
Even with Sandbank Bay. Even as Sandbank Bay. They blocked up access on the protection of protecting the turtles. And the question when they go in there.
They wanted to stop the bridge.
Mm. Oh, yes. Bridge? Yes.
Oh, you know, you see the bridge, and I said to the man that the road belonged to us.
They didn't want any traffic driving through there.
And they don't have to.
I sang about that too.
I mean, he's interested, hello. He don't seem to get it. Because all we have to is borrow off the road. Because the road is ours, you know.
That's the access. But you see...
One thing for sure, that the road is ours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, over at Carambola, let me tell you about Carambola too, you know, the practice.
I was going to bring it up. Well, go ahead.
I recall I was over there one time with me and my husband and my grandchildren. I had this granddaughter from Barbados. So we took them over there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in the sea, bathing. Husband here with the grandchildren.
Yeah.
And one of the workers came out and said, no, you all have to move from here. I said, excuse me? By way to see water, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You all have to move from here because we're going to have some kind of function. I said, miss, this water don't belong to Carambola.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear that is the practice. They're asking you to move out of the sea, you know. Or you can't go up so.
Mm-hmm.
So they're busy selling the idea that the beaches are private to them.
Mm-hmm.
So when the poor lady came here with the idea that the beach is hers, somebody gave her the idea.
I see. You may have a point. You may have a point.
Somebody told the lady, you know, the beach in front of you is private, so.
That is why this is called boundaries. They must know the boundaries.
But the boundaries have got to be properly marked on the brochures, on the marketing thing overseas. Please write there are no private beaches in the Federation.
Sister Henry, like you, I took some guests to the beach, Salt Friars. When I got down there, there was a chain blocking off access, right? But there's a side path I could take to go to the beach. I'm not going to the Carambola Beach Club. This, whatever she was, she ran out to me in a Caucasian, oh, you can't bring them here today. So I took my guests to the beach, to the side road there, and I came back and I light her up. I light her up. And I told the guests you can go to the, you know, they had to go all the way up by Shipwreck to use the facilities.
So you say you can go up, so you know.
For those who don't know, okay, Carambola is a private beach club on Fires Bay. And they've created this space where when they have, like today, There's a cruise ship there, and they cater to those passengers solely. So if you were to take your family there, they will not accept you. You cannot use your facilities because it's exclusive
They are selling
to
the
them.
private beach. It is they who selling it.
And it's very
They're doing
embarrassing.
it.
Sometimes you take guests to the beach, you say, oh, we can't come today. This is
Yeah,
happening.
you can't go there when
Can't
the
go
boat
there.
is in.
Right? Over 30 years ago, Gabby sang Jack on the Beach, and the message is not reaching up there. You understand? The boundaries.
And we have got to teach our children, look, all beaches, we got to say to our children that they know, hello, you have access to any beach in this country.
Free access.
Any beach, any. And this is a good teaching moment, you understand?
But you remember the hotel in Frigate Bay where they put some boulders to block access to walk in front of the beach?
Yeah, Marriott,
Yes.
this is the problem.
Put some boulders there and talk about is the surf.
You can't walk.
You can't
walk to the property, but they got boulders on your property.
On your beach. You can't access.
You know what I mean? But you see? All right. Well,
I understand where you're going.
yeah.
Because
we
two
have got to
persons were given
put it
four-bedroom
on the airport,
condos
put
in
it
the
on
Marriott.
airport. There are no private beaches here.
Two
And we have got
persons.
to let the people know that we're not just here just to serve them. This is our country. And I remember one time too when they had an advertisement, and I objected to it. They were advertising St. Kitts and Nevis. I don't know how it's still. And there was this tourist in the sea water. You know, that's what they do over at Four Seasons, right?
Not sure what they do at Four Seasons. Go ahead.
And the black people serving them.
Oh.
And then there were another couple. I think Scarrett was the thing that time.
And that was the image they were putting up there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I said, well, black people don't go beach.
You're selling
Black
servitude.
people don't go restaurants. So the only thing we were good for was to serve. But you see, it is the people who we choose to lead us or to put in charge of these things. Because as one said, one of these nice commentators you have, they make a lot of noise on the radio. When Scarrett was hired, he said, the people and the investors, like when they come, they like to see people that look like them.
Like them, yes.
In a black country, eh?
It's a mentality
In
that
a
we
black
have.
country, the people like to see people that look like them. So I suppose when they don't look like them, then we are inferior. We got to stand up, and we should inform the U.S. Embassy too, because they like to jump in. You don't think so?
Well, we like to give the impression when everything. Remember former Prime Minister said that when he was asking Canada about the crime rate in St. Kitts, remember what he said? We don't shoot the tourists here. You remember that?
That's what?
We don't shoot the tourists here. Some years ago in Canada, when we had this high murder rate, a certain PM was asked about the crime rate in St. Kitts. He said, we do not shoot the tourists here.
So black people ain't got no value.
So it's okay. Bring the tourists, man.
I tell you, we ain't got no enlightened people, So, look, we should send the information to the U.S. Embassy. Because just like how the man could killing Anguilla, and imagine that the president of the USA,
You mean
Now
Donald Trump? Donald Trump weighed in and gave support. But
Trump said he will defend the man.
he one of the issue had with that. And he would drop a bomb in Anguilla. He said he drop a bomb in Anguilla. If they prosecute him.
Lord have mercy,
One of the issue with that young man, he was Dominican. He was an Anguillian.
The man was Dominican from a small island.
Yeah.
They got no nuclear.
But what I'm saying,
got to get some.
he lived in Anguilla and he got killed in Anguilla. But because he was not
And there's some
Anguillian,
cock and bull story,
he didn't get that full support. He was Dominican, so they didn't really take it on as a national issue. Oh, he's from Dominica. I was there. I wrote a song about it.
I mean, when I hear the President Trump talking about, he's not going to extradite him. He will support him all the way, Mr. Lord Jesus.
And if the Angola prosecute him, he'll drop a bomb in Angola.
Well, the children in the school, they should be complimented, and the school should refuse. The school should refuse the donation.
That goes to the politicians.
You know,
They're all about appeasement.
And we have got to teach our children. Now, for my good friend, Journey, if you know you're going to think, find work in another sector. You don't think so?
Well, yes.
if you feel that strongly, and you're right in the middle of it, look for work in another sector.
All right.
Because you see, one of these days, your temper, whatever, might get the better of you.
Well, I work in the same sector, but I know how to handle it. After break, I'll share what happened to me a few weeks ago. Okay?
Yeah, as you say, there are some things worth fighting for and some things you can fight later, you know.
That's a fact.
Something you can fight later, but you must let the people know. When you carry them over Cockleshell Bay, say, you couldn't say, there are no private beaches in St. Kitts.
I do that.
Not that. What they're doing over here, hello, is our beach, you know. We got to say it loud. Say it loud. You don't got to be aggressive. You don't have to be aggressive.
Okay, Sister Henry.
You just stay to your place. As I said, you set the boundaries.
Yep.
When you come to our country, this is our country. You don't disrespect our people. Those things need to be said, need to be written.
I've got to take a break, Sister Henry. You got to take a call.
All right, then.
Thanks for your contribution.
Journey, cool down journey, cool down.
Okay, we pause for a break.
Campari orange, easy fi we. Brother he no hard it, easy fi we. Campari he no cup, easy fi we. Brother he no hard it, easy fi we. Add the Campari with your orange juice. That easy, bitter had the pre. Simple mixer, easy 1 3. Campari orange, that easy fi we. Fi mix a Campari orange, add 1 pot Campari with 3 parts orange juice. Drink at the bar, on the beach, or when your girl reach. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Store's curbside pickup service.
Enjoy an elevated experience with your Flow Home Internet and mobile combined.
Giving you the best rate for great savings.
With 120 gigs of double data for anything.
And unlimited talk.
On 4 mobile lines.
Simply combine your Flow Home Internet and mobile for the best rate and value. Unlock double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines to go with home internet speeds up to 35 megabits per second. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
To our viewers and listeners, welcome back to Voices. And we have a hot topic today entitled Boundaries, the ones to cross or not. I want to say good morning to Brenda up there in Charlotte. She's just back from Dubai. Rosemary in New York. Amber, Zara, and Cleo over there in Anguilla. She actually called about the same topic. So they watched it yesterday. And we go to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, the King.
Good morning, sir. How about thou?
I'm giving thanks for life. And yourself?
Counting my blessings first.
Yes, all right. Good morning to those who are listening, home and abroad. Hot topic, eh?
Hot topic. Another one again.
I listened to the little synopsis of you. Can I have permission to speak?
Most certainly.
Let me do a little house cleaning. I wish to thank the tourism authority for their prudency in loving a collective body of the taxi fraternities to gather and listen to what they have to say to all. I'm told that there are certain, I think there was another communique in terms of assisting taxi drivers in terms of gasoline prices, which is escalating and so forth.
Yes, I'll
I
do
would
that for
hope
some
that
time.
they would be also prudent to allow all and sundry to benefit from that. So this is where I'm going tomorrow, God willing, when I attend that meeting. So I'm just putting that out there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Topic at hand.
Boundaries.
Mr. Henry, good morning. I hope Greg is listening. Good morning, Greg. I have a couple other things to say about Greg and Mr. Henry, but I shall dive into the topic at hand. Yes. The King, if I were to ask you if being a a member of Commonwealth, think it's the Nevis is still.
Yes, we are.
As opposed to, yes. As opposed to Barbados that just went through a republic.
Mm-hmm.
Would that being a republic give us the more impetus to really claim our freedom in all aspects of this life? Because it seems like, because maybe we still have the Queen, her heirs and successors,
Trinidad
royalty still
has been a republic
they
for a
can
lot
still come
longer.
and do us just like we only independent by paper. Do you think these things have any factor it's weighing on it that, boy, behave yourself? Not because we say we gave you independence. You're a member of the Commonwealth. You still pledge Queen heirs and successors to us. We could come here and do as we're so pleased to do still. And so going into a republic would kind of like shrug off one of those vestiges.
Could be.
You turn another page.
Trinidad has
Yes,
been
we are getting there.
a republic for quite a number of years. The same thing can prevail there. You just have to protest. When you feel dependent, as most of these islands are on the tourism-based economy, there's some things you kind of grin and bear. And there's some things that you just don't. That's why this is called boundaries. When Austin gave the guy the right hand, the left hand opposite, taxi drivers and people, oh, you can't hit the tourists, you're going to mash up the industry. You can't come here and kick somebody and get away with it. You can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make an argument. I'm trying to really get into the minds of our people. Okay? Oh, I'm going to push the envelope a little further. Oh, maybe these lands are totally their lands. Don't care who inhabited the lands. We don't care if it's 99% of African peoples on these lands. We have no rights to these lands whatsoever. We will never get no rights to these lands whatsoever. We have a land. We have a land. And if we don't trust in our big brother, and if we don't totally liberate Africa, the land of Africa, no other part of the world will be liberated where we are.
You remember?
By claiming our economy, by claiming our legitimacy to all things, by saying, you're going to come to the market and pay market price for my oil, for my rubies, for my diamonds, and if you respect that, then we deal with the market price for all things. Unless we get our collectiveness in what we have and claim it, it seems as if wherever we inhabit, it will be the same scenario.
Do you recall?
And so yes, it's unfortunate what happened on Nevis, but we will continue to see things like this.
Do you recall?
As reminders.
Do you recall a former government being told by the IMF to shut down the much indebted sugar industry and collateralize the land?
Mm-hmm.
And that was happening. You don't do that. But then the CBA program is on steroids. About the many persons we understand own our national passport, if they come here to vote as one, say, demographic, because I think they have voting rights, if they come here to decide to vote as a demographic, they, based on the numbers, can determine the government. So, Johnny, when I laugh, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm putting the facts up there, but the fact is, this is our deal issue. I just laugh because our people wouldn't listen. On the night that the lands were being sold out in Parliament, was the first time Parliament was that late. After 9 o'clock, our people was on the strip in Figure Bay jumping up, paying no attention.
And the king, I heard Mrs. Henry when she probably said that Johnny should probably leave and go into another industry. I beg to differ because I am a taxi driver and I interact with my guests. And I tell you what, the king, some of our guests have heart and soul. Some, maybe all don't display that, but some have. But for the some, however small they might be, this is an opportunity for me to reach them.
A teaching lesson? A teaching moment?
Assume my responsibility in towards the salvation of the human race. If I have information that I must convey to my guests, I interact with my guests. Most of the time, I allow them to ask a question. Once they ask that question, the king, I go right into it.
Of course.
And I explain it to them.
Create a teaching moment.
And And even the king, even sometimes when we go down to Bloody Point. Okay? So I beg to differ with Mrs. Henry that you should get out of that industry. One has to be clever enough. And one has to know the responsibility.
It was based on how Johnny phrased his remarks.
Huh?
It was based on how Johnny phrased his remarks about tourism.
I did not hear it. But
Okay,
I am
there you go.
saying, I know from my experience, and I know we have a message for all humanity. Whether we were wrong or not,
So the
we
Martin
are
Luther
the
King.
ones, because we ain't going nowhere, you know. We were here from the beginning and we will here to the end. And if any other human beings would survive, it is us who would bring salvation to them. So therefore, I in this industry, I am at a good position to assist and to help. And if those are repentant in heart, they're going to hear my message.
Much
I have a
appreciated.
message for the world.
Okay.
I was here to redeem the world and to save the world and to civilize the world. And I will continue to be that civilizer, that redeemer, that savior.
Much appreciated.
Anything about savior and savior and savior. And I beg to differ with Mrs. Henry. She said it on your program, The King, that everybody know that Jesus ain't white. You gave me a picture worth 1,000 words. That's the impression you gave people. She might know now, and I might know now, and you might know now. We did not know before. We had to struggle to shrug off that colonial vestige. Since when a white person gonna die for you? It never happened, and it will never happen. They have accumulated wealth, and they want to live out that wealth and pass it down to next generation. You go in Argentina. That's a good story. Black people were there in Argentina just like the whole of the Americas. And if you look at
They're
the light
not
skin,
well received.
it's under the light skinness.
In Chile and Argentina, Negro people are not very well received.
Okay, King, I shall,
Much appreciate
after
that.
the break,
All right.
the lunch break, and
If I may,
continue another conversation.
thank you. If I may share a quick story before we go up. Do you have a call on the line? Okay. A few weeks ago, I returned to Port Zante with a truckload of guests. Say I had 10 persons, 8 would have paid me at the end. This couple gave me $6, well, and walked away. So I said, what is this for? And they claimed that they paid at the other end. I said, but you could not have paid at the end. You paid the driver at the end that was given to you. And he was very loud and this and that. I said, okay, if you paid at the other end, and there were 2 police officers present, I said, let's put the police, let's go down to the other end and dispute it. I sort it out. And he did. I said, there are 2 police officers here, let's go. They're police officers and sort it out. In the midst of all that, the wife decided to pay me $50 and said, oh, you robbed me, and this, that, we'll never come back to this country. I said, lady, nobody's robbed you. I asked her husband to go, and he started calling me names. Well, so could he call him one too? Now he tells me, oh, you can't call me that. Oh, you know. You know he can't call you that. But you feel you can call me what you call me. And he went on, and the police officer right there said, well, you're right. I am asking him, since you think you have paid before, let us go down to the other end and sort it out, where you said you paid. They refused and decided we will rob them, and they're not coming back to St. Kitts. And he called me a name, so I call him back one. He tells me now, you're not supposed to call me that. We are just about to break for the midday newscast. It's been a very exciting morning, and we want to return later on and, continue the topic of boundaries. I want to say good morning to Jennifer up there in Hotlanta, and for all the folks who were tuned to this morning first half, thank you for listening. Thank you for your contribution with the call, your text, and we will be back after the midday newscast. Hopefully you can join us for that second segment. Thank you.
Different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and National Bank.
Did you know that National Bank offers very favorable terms and low interest rate to switch your home mortgage? Our in-house legal department will process your mortgage in a jiffy and free of cost. Switch your home mortgage now and get a peace of mind knowing that we are here for you. National Bank, always here.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Or 469-5303. Dealey Walwyn. People you can trust.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the Win Headline News, I am Devon Cornelius. St. Kitts and Nevis removed from list of countries banned from entering Japan. In regional news, new project opens doors for greater movement of skilled persons in CARICOM. Internationally, man guilty of murdering UK MP Sir David Amess. BBC News has that story. The details straight ahead. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is pleased to inform the general public that the government of Japan has decided as of April 8, 2022, to remove St. Kitts and Nevis from its list of countries denied entry into Japan to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus. This decision takes effect on Friday, April 8, 2022. Holders of St. Kitts and Nevis passports will still need visas to travel to Japan. In regional news, Citizens of Antigua and Barbuda availing themselves of technical and vocational education training TVET certification through a new European Union EU-financed project will benefit from increased employment opportunities across CARICOM. According to the Honorable E.P. Chet Green, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Trade in Antigua and Barbuda, the new project managed by the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, will assist in closing an existing developmental gap which has constrained the labor force and hindered the mobility of nationals to capitalize on employment opportunities at the national and regional levels. The minister also noted that leveraging access to the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME has become increasingly important in creating new economic opportunities for citizens. CARICOM has agreed to the movement of 12 categories of nationals, including artisans with Caribbean vocational qualifications (CVQs) and household domestics with CVQs or equivalent qualifications. CDB's Vice President of Operations, Isaac Solomon, delivering remarks at the project launch on April 7th in Antigua and Barbuda, stated that the Enhanced Technical Vocational Education Training TVET framework for certification in Antigua and Barbuda project brings into sharper focus the need for and value of increased investment in education and skills training, particularly in non-traditional areas. The bank has also recognized the importance of building social resilience and the urgency of addressing existing disparities in the education ecosystem. In response, CDB has sought through its programs to build the adaptive and transformative capacities of individuals, communities, and institutions to more readily sustain citizens' well-being and improve their quality of life, he intimated. While encouraging the national partners in education to support the project, the Honorable Darrell Matthew, Minister of Education and Sports in Antigua and Barbuda, indicated that the elements of the project are designed to build a growth-inclusive framework which places emphasis on vulnerable groups, adding that the government will be able to realize its broader developmental objectives of raising the standard of living and reducing the incidence of poverty by empowering such groups to leverage their enhanced skills to secure greater wealth creation prospects locally and regionally. EU Ambassador Malgorzata Wasilewska indicated that the project will contribute significantly to the sustainable growth and development of the country. Benefits will include improved quality learning among youth, reduced unemployment among young people, greater inclusion of women in non-traditional TVET roles, improved access for persons living with disabilities, and the development of a highly skilled and credentialed workforce. The two-year project is being implemented by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Trade on behalf of the Antigua and Barbuda National Training Agency. The project will focus on training of individuals already established in particular fields without requisite TVET certification. This will pave the way for full utilization of the opportunities available locally and through the CSME. The two-year initiative provides 257,535 euros in technical assistance to the government of Antigua and Barbuda from the EPA and CSME standby facility. The standby facility is a 8.75 million euros resource managed by CDB, which offers opportunities to 15 Caribbean economies to grow trade, deepen integration and economic involvement, impact competitiveness, market access, and exports by implementing targeted projects in thematic areas. Internationally, man guilty of murdering UK MP Sir David Amess. BBC News has that story.
Last few minutes, a jury at the Old Bailey has found 26-year-old Ali Harbi Ali guilty of murdering the MP Sir David Amess and preparing acts of terrorism. The Islamic State group fanatic carried out the cold and calculating murder at the veteran Conservative backbencher's constituency surgery in Leigh-on-Sea in Essex last October. This report from our Home Affairs correspondent Daniel Sanford contains flashing images.
Speak emergency. Please, quick now. The man is wielding a knife and he's threatened me to kill David Amos at Belfast Methodist Church.
It's the 15th of October last year, and in the leafy suburbs of Leigh-on-Sea, a man has just murdered an MP.
He wants to get shot, apparently. He wants to be a hero. He wants the police to come and shoot him.
Who? What, the person with the knife?
Yes. He says if we go near him, he will stab us.
They say he's got a knife and he's just stabbed someone.
Within minutes, the first two officers arrive. They don't have guns, just batons. Cautiously, they move in.
Can you show us, mate? Stay back, yeah?
To tackle the knife man. They have no stab vests, no other protective clothing.
Mate, drop the knife! Drop the knife now! On the floor now! On the floor! Get it down! We got him! Right, search him. Right, mate, at the moment you're under arrest for murder, alright?
At Southend Police Station, the killer blurted out his motivation.
Domestic or hate-related in any
Terror.
way? Pardon?
Terror.
Mr. Annie, is this a terrorist attack?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I killed an MP. And I've done it. Yeah.
Okay.
Ali Harbi Ali grew up in Croydon in South London. He was clever. He hoped to train as a doctor. But he became radicalised in his late teens by the Islamic State group's propaganda. At first, he considered killing Michael Gove. Then, carrying a knife, he started making trips to Westminster, looking for other MPs.
Going to the Houses of Parliament, you know, trying to spot where they come out of, what they're doing, but, you know, obviously because of the attacks, there's police there armed to the teeth.
This was an individual who had not just committed an atrocious murder in Southend, but who had crossed the line into criminality and serious preparation for terrorism a couple of years ago.
Ali eventually settled on Sir David Amos as his victim almost by chance, as the MP for Southend West had advertised his constituency surgery on Twitter. On October the 15th, he set out from his North London home, taking the train to Leigh-on-Sea and calmly walking to the church to murder the much-loved local MP. The murder here at Belfast Methodist Church rocked British politics. Sir David Amos was the second MP to be killed in just over 5 years. His assassination and that of Joe Cox risked undermining a fundamental principle of British politics, that MPs should be easily available to those they represent. Daniel Sanford, BBC News, Leigh-on-Sea.
Matt Graveling is outside the Old Bailey for us now. Matt, tell us what happened in court.
Well, Martine, the jury heard how 27-year-old Ali Harbi Ali had been looking for a victim to send a message, and although it was Sir David Amos who tragically died on the 15th of October, he was by no means the first MP on that list. We heard there how Michael Gove was also targeted, and there were other MPs on the list, including Jess Phillips and Dominic Raab. Now, we had two counts that the jury were deciding upon: engaging in conduct in preparation of terrorist acts. This was the reconnaissance which went on for a number of years, and also the murder of Sir David Amos. And the jury took just 18 minutes, Martine, to return a verdict of guilty on both. And the Judge Justice Sweeney, will be sentencing Ali Harbi Ali on Wednesday.
Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan gone after losing no confidence vote. Al Jazeera tells us more.
It was after midnight in Islamabad when members of parliament voted on the motion of no confidence. After a nearly 14-hour standoff between Imran Khan's ruling party and the opposition.
174 members have recorded their votes in favour of the resolution. Consequently, the resolution for vote of no confidence against Mr. Imran Khan the Prime Minister of Islamic Republic of Pakistan has been passed by a majority of the total membership of the National Assembly.
Khan is the first Prime Minister in Pakistan to be ousted by a no-confidence vote. Opposition leader Shehbaz Sharif, who's likely to succeed him, said Pakistan had been freed from a crisis.
A new dawn has started. A new day is coming. Allah has answered the prayers of millions of Pakistani mothers, sisters, daughters, elders, and youth.
Khan says he won't accept an opposition government and blames the US for leading a conspiracy to remove him. He's called on his supporters to hold nationwide rallies.
Imran Khan has been removed through a foreign conspiracy. God willing, we will fight back to make him Prime Minister again. We don't want these thieves.
Khan's removal is the culmination of months of political turmoil and a week-long constitutional crisis. The opposition put forward a no-confidence motion to Parliament last Sunday. But the Deputy Speaker blocked the motion, saying it was unconstitutional and involved foreign interference. On Khan's advice, Pakistan's president dissolved Parliament, but the Supreme Court ruled that was illegal.
While Imran has lost the battle in the Parliament, he still has a large following in the field, especially among the young. And they are fairly committed, so a lot will depend how this group under Imran Khan is going to react or interact with the new government, because overnight the new government will not be able to solve the problems of the economy, the relationship with the military.
The US State Department has denied any involvement in Pakistan's internal politics. Parliament will meet on Monday to appoint a new Prime Minister. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
Shehbaz Sharif elected as Pakistan's new Prime Minister. More from Al Jazeera.
It's coming out of Pakistan, where the National Assembly has confirmed Shehbaz Sharif as the country's new Prime Minister. Sharif succeeds Imran Khan. You'll recall, of course, that he was ousted in a rather dramatic no-confidence vote over the weekend. More than 100 MPs of Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party, well, they decided to resign in protest against his ousting. Tens of thousands also rallied in support of Khan on Sunday night. Osama bin Javaid is in Islamabad for us. So, Osama, Pakistan has a new Prime Minister now, right?
Absolutely. Shehbaz Sharif is now the 23rd Prime Minister of Pakistan. The official announcement is to be made momentarily as votes have been cast. And this was a done deal when the opposition party now, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, Imran Khan's party, decided that they are going to boycott this vote. So now there is no opposition to the election of Shehbaz Sharif, who is now the new Prime Minister of Pakistan. We have to see how many votes have been cast in his favor as the Assembly session is underway. The results have been compiled and they've been presented to the Speaker, and he's asked all members of the Parliament to come back inside the Assembly. So it's been a dramatic day in a dramatic week of events where you've seen a vote of no confidence against Imran Khan, the Speaker striking it down, the court coming into action, calling it unconstitutional and illegal, and then the Assembly is being reinstated, which was dissolved by the President, and finally a vote of confidence taking place. And while all of this was happening, Imran Khan's party decided that they are going to not just boycott the vote, but they are going to resign from the assemblies. More than 140 MPs expected to resign from the National Assembly. Those resignations have been circulated on social media, but they have not reached the Speaker's chamber as yet. So the formalities will take place. But Imran Khan's party insisting that they do not want to be part of what they call an imported setup, alluding to what Imran Khan has been stating all along, that this is an international conspiracy. This is a foreign-backed government, and he does not want to be part of it. It is interesting that Imran Khan also said that he's going to fight these politicians in the Assembly, but now has decided that he is now going to take to the streets and try and force an early election.
And Osama, judging by the street protests we've seen so far, does it look like this might not be the end of this political dispute, but rather just the beginning?
Absolutely. This is Imran Khan, you have to remember, is a popular politician here. His party did have the majority when before the coalition came together and got the numbers. And because of the performance of Imran Khan in the last 3.5 years, many of his coalition partners felt that they were not being given enough, they were not being treated equally, and he was failing to deliver on those promises. And they say that's why they changed sides towards the opposition. Imran Khan saying that their votes were bought, there was a lot of money involved. But now it seems that Pakistan has a new steward in place. Now, this 23rd Prime Minister of Pakistan, Shahbaz Sharif, is going to be facing down a number of challenges, not just political uncertainty, but grave challenges to the economy as well. Pakistan is still in talks with the International Monetary Fund for a next tranche to try and bail out its economy. There is some stability in the Pak rupee versus the US dollar, but there are concerns there as well. And obviously, the biggest concern that people have is rising inflation, which has been spiraling in the last few years. But Shahbaz Sharif is somebody who's seen in Pakistan as someone who has a can-do attitude and has a track record of delivering when the situation got tough, especially in Pakistan's biggest province, Punjab. Known in Pakistan as an administrator who gets things done, at the age of 70, Shahbaz Sharif was the joint leader of the opposition that toppled Imran Khan in a no-confidence vote. Sharif entered politics and then led Pakistan's most populous province and built major infrastructure projects. In his hometown Lahore, he successfully brought in investment from China and Turkey. He's also had good relations with the US. Analysts say he will need to mend fences after the outgoing Prime Minister accused his opponents of being politically manipulated by Washington. Shahbaz is the younger brother of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, who was dismissed following allegations of corruption. He's facing a money laundering case and corruption charges brought by the Federal Investigation Agency and the National Accountability Bureau. Both brothers say the allegations levelled under Imran Khan's premiership were politically motivated. And in 2007, Sharif criticised the Accountability Bureau investigating him.
NAB, which is an institution, controlled by Musharraf, equivalent to Hitler's, Gestapo, National Accountability Bureau, which does selective accountability.
And other opposition politicians also accused it of being a tool used for political witch hunts. In subsequent years in power, the Muslim League government left the bureau unchanged. Out of all politicians, Shahbaz Sharif is widely considered to be the most acceptable to the military establishment. And those who came together to topple Imran Khan's government are hoping that the army will maintain what it calls its neutral status. Even if Shahbaz Sharif remains the Prime Minister until elections next year, he will still not become a Prime Minister who completes a 5-year term in Pakistan, as none have done in the country's 75-year history. Osama bin Javed, Al Jazeera, Islamabad.
You were listening to the WINNFM Headline News. Let's recap our top stories. Internationally, man guilty of murdering UK MP Sir David Amess. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan gone after losing no confidence vote. Shahbaz Sharif elected as Pakistan's new Prime Minister. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and National Bank.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoy the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king. Please drink responsibly.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tilly Wall with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Delia Walwyn, people you can trust.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your national bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's tool season at Horswood's Building and Nevis Centres, and we're making it easy to get the right tools for your home improvement. For this April Tools Month, hundreds of tools store-wide have been slashed by 25% off. That's 25% off tools store-wide, from drills to cutters, wrenches to hammers, and much more. It's tool season at Horswood's this April with 25% off store-wide on tools. Horswood's Building and Nevis Centres, St. Kitts and Nevis' favorite home improvement stores, making home improvement easy. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
I love the sound of that, and folks who know that you're listening to Voices. Is Monday, the 11th day of April. You're logged on to WINNFM 98.9 for another episode of Voices with Socrates as the host of today's program. I want to thank those who were with us this morning, who called with their views, commentary, and suggestions that we took on the topic of boundaries. And it seems that there's someone waiting, so we go straight to the phone lines. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Good day, the King.
Good day, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Beautiful.
Let me say good afternoon to Mrs. Henry.
Beautiful. She appreciates that.
King.
So,
Mrs. Henry said that Journey should calm down. Well, let me say to Miss Henry that I am totally calm. Now, let me say this, Mrs. Henry. I want you to hear me well. When Saul, who became Paul, slaughtered who he slaughtered in his day, said, according to the scripture, he did it in ignorance. He did it in ignorance, the king. Saul, who became Paul, when he was on the road to Damascus, all that he did, the scripture tells us that he did it in ignorance. Well, I am not ignorant, the king. I am very aware. Now, Mrs. Henry, I'm talking to you and all those who are very much like you. By that I mean those who are pontificating and being apologists.
Let's keep it respectful, please.
I am being respectful, the king.
Okay.
But I am saying this to say that Paul did what he did in ignorance. But I am not ignorant. I am aware, and I'm also informed. Now there's a difference there, because there are those who are aware, but they are not informed. I'm saying all that to say, the king, that I am in that industry that you are in. And yes, I remember I stated earlier that I had a conversation with a party who was telling me that my name that was given to me by my mom was not my name. And I handled it well. This was when I was at a resort in Frigate Bay. Okay. And I asked my supervisor, after I recognized where this customer was getting to, when he told me that my name is not my name because it's an American name. And I said to my supervisor, have someone else serve that table. And then the following day, the same gentleman apologized to me, seeing me walking across the patio, going to my workstation. Now, what we are saying, the king, that all that they had doing, we forgave Dylan Roof when Dylan Roof went in the church and shot up 9. When Amber Rose shot up our brother in his apartment in Texas, the brother gave her a hug.
The judge?
What is wrong with us, the king? What is wrong with us?
I think the judge gave a hug too.
Sorry?
I think the judge gave her a hug also.
Give who a hug?
The lady shot the guy from St. Lucia in the apartment.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Her brother gave her a hug. Now, what is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? I stated to you what is happening in Eastern Europe with our brothers and sisters who are being placed in concentration camps. We saw what Joe Biden did when he hugged those who were fleeing and yet rounding up our brothers and sisters to deport them back as immigrants. So when I ask you if there's a memo went around the world that we should be disrespected and be treated like that, I was just trying it out for people to think. Look at what is happening to us. And we are the majority. We are the salt of the earth. We are the chosen. We are the firstborn. But the king, this is changing. Because like I mentioned some time ago, 2 generations ago, what Jamaica did to Prince William, what Mia Motley did by separating from Nicholas, 2 generations ago, we wasn't thinking like this. So why don't we wake up and recognize this is our moment? It's not going to happen over time, but at least I am the voice in the wilderness that is crying out to my people. And as much as the scripture said Jesus came to his own and his own receives him not, well, I am calling for my own. Because the United Nations and the EU, they are a body for themselves. Why can't we be for ourselves? They divided us, the king. They divided us, and that works for them. We need to burn that now. Burn it. And burn the picture that they gave us. Because we are pontificating their misery. And we need to throw it out the window. Throw it out the window and embrace your own story. This is what I'm saying, the king. Let us unite. How long have we been divided?
Let me ask a question.
How has it worked for them?
How do you capture the imagination of the folks that you're speaking to?
Well, all I can say...
Because you spoke about those who are aware, those who are informed and not aware. And that's the vast majority of the folks that you're speaking to.
The king, you asked me a question, let me answer it, please.
Yes, sir.
The scripture says, who have ears to hear, let them hear. The scripture also says, many are called.
And few are chosen.
You are chosen.
Okay.
And when I said what was hidden from the wise and the prudent
will be
have
revealed.
Been revealed unto babes. Mrs. Henry, you are my elder I have great respect for you.
She's no
But
longer
if
babes?
you does not go back in the flesh, I will take you in the spirit. And by the way, the king, I'm going to finish now.
Please.
There's an initiative for those who want to go to the continent in August. I am on that chain, the king. And I would like to invite others to go.
What's the cost? Give me specifics.
Well, it's a 6,000 airfare with hotel accommodation. 6,000 EC airfare, both going and coming. So, Mrs. Henry, I would like to take you. If you're not going to go in the spirit, in the flesh, may you live, but
Journey
you
of
will be
Brooks.
there in the spirit.
COVID gave me 2 years of. COVID drained my savings for over 2 years. I'm kind of broke, so I'd like to go with you. Are you going to co-sponsor a ticket?
The king, you can afford that. Thank you for hearing me.
Okay, thank you very much for that contribution. I have a friend in New York says she just love to hear him, flow. So I was maybe that was Journey for you. And he's inviting all who have the means to go with him to Africa. It's $6,000. Is it US or EC? EC airfare. I know I'm broke. We go back to the phone lines. Call your live on Voices.
Hello?
Good afternoon, you're live on Voices. Johnny beat you? Anyway, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, Socrates?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, greetings in Jesus' name.
Definitely.
The only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell, and the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, first of all, I would like to say, you said Trump said that he would bomb Angola?
Yep.
You heard him say that?
It's well known, yes, it's documented.
It's documented?
Yes, of
I would
course.
like to see the document because I personally don't believe it.
You don't have to believe it. I am saying it's well documented. It's related to an incident where the chap was killed, and it was Tommy Estefano got bail for the guy to leave the country. It shouldn't have happened. And his wife and them were...
Could you reference for me the document that said that Trump would bomb Angola?
It was a news item.
Well, a lot of stuff has been news items.
This is not fake news. This is the actual thing that he said, and people thought it was ridiculous.
Well, who news source you heard it from?
I think somebody's trying to pull it up. Somebody's trying to pull it up. Somebody's trying to pull it up.
Yeah, do that because I would like to see this. So because the things that they said Trump said that turned out not to be true. But this one I've never even heard on the news about Trump saying he can bomb Angola.
It's not my fault that you haven't heard it. It's not your fault that you haven't heard it. You can't hear everything. Right?
And you say you have not heard Trump said it as well personally.
Who said that?
I just asked you if you heard Trump said it and you said no, but it was on the news. It
was a news item. I mean, like people commented because it related to the incident in Angola where this guy, say, killed a guy in the bathroom in the hotel there, etc. And he was allowed to get bail and leave the country. Right? And his wife had been affiliated with Trump. He made these remarks about if they prosecute him, what he will do. Bomb Angola.
Okay, well. Yeah,
and people
laugh
because it was among the nonsense he was talking.
Well, I would like to hear the source. I would like it to hear the source.
Okay, somebody's trying to find it.
Because you remember it was also on the news where it was said when Trump said he called certain islands, certain places, whole countries.
Yes.
And when he was investigated, nothing got sir.
No.
Nothing got sir.
No.
When he was investigated,
I am not
nothing
buying
got,
that, Jeffrey. I'm not buying that.
Well, it was investigated, and according to the evidence, he did not say it.
This is not the gospel according to Jeffrey. I'm not buying that.
But I'm telling you, the evidence when they asked the people who was there, or with the exception of Dick Durbin, the Democrat, who Obama one time had to rebuke for lying. Other than him, nobody else said said it in the meeting.
Here's what.
So that is.
Here's what.
So I would like to know.
Let me read this for you, right? A journalist who worked here just texted me and said, Win FM reported that story. I remember clearly. It's generally known.
Yeah, but I would like to see the source for that.
Well, somebody's trying to find it.
Yes, I would like to see a source for that. Because I myself tried to search the internet for it and I can't even find it.
No problem.
Yes.
He did refer to Haiti and other countries as S.O. country. He did not know that Haiti sent troops to fight in the Civil War. Haiti sent... Did you know that?
Well, no.
For the assisted Americans in fighting in the Civil War. Haiti did that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that out of the meeting, only one person in that meeting, that was a Democrat, Dick Durbin, who is a known liar, said that he heard Trump say that.
And Trump is not a liar. Trump is not a liar.
Trump is a liar too. But what I'm telling you is that the story, the investigation, when they asked people who was there, only one person who was there who said who Obama had to rebuke in the past for lying. Everybody else who was there said they ain't hear Trump say that.
I see.
That's what I'm telling you. So that's what I'm, and Trump himself said he didn't say it. So what I'm saying that.
What about the comment about? What about the comment about grabbing by women by the private parts?
By what?
What about the comment about him grabbing women by the private parts? He didn't say that either.
Him grabbing women by private parts? Yeah, you heard the tape with him saying that.
Okay.
You heard the tape with him saying that. Okay.
All right.
You heard the tape with him saying that. But that could be verified. But what I'm saying is that I've never heard him say that he's gonna drop any bomb in Anguilla. As a matter of fact, I've never even heard a news source say that he said it, let alone hearing him say it. So yeah, so when you bring up this source, I would like to be informed about that source.
Okay.
Secondly, concerning beaches and boundaries and so that you mentioned. Now, if a person wants to own part of the coastal land, the biblical way to go is to allow that person to own part of the coastal land.
The biblical way?
Yeah, that's the biblical way to go. To allow people to own coastal lands, be it beaches or whatever. Okay? That's the biblical way to go. It is not biblical to prevent people from owning parts of the coastal
So
land.
the Bible would have authorized Sugars getting that property where he built right on the beach in Frigate Bay?
Once he acquired it legally and properly, yes, he would be authorized.
There's zoning laws that said you cannot build this close to the edge of the water. There's zoning laws. So that was infringement.
Yeah, but the zoning laws are unbiblical. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
The zoning laws are unbiblical. So where in the Bible you find that? Talk to me. Where in the Bible you find that the Bible authorizes people to buy own land on the beach? Where in the Bible you find that?
No, you ain't going to find it directly, but what happened that you find it indirectly in the sense that the Bible in Romans chapter 13 lays out the duties and limits of government, which is limited to, biblically speaking, praising those who do good and punishing those who do evil, as taught by the Bible about what evil and good are and how to praise good and how to punish evil.
How does that relate?
And that is the biblical limits for government. And to pick up the taxes, to perform those biblical duties. And the Bible also said, do not go beyond what is written in the Bible. So anything
so
else...
you're limiting the functionality of government. They cannot determine how, through zoning laws, how close a person can build on a beach. Is that what you're saying? They don't have the authority?
Right, because it is gone out the biblical limits for government.
Okay, now you make it clear.
And the Bible said, do not go beyond what is written in the Bible.
Now you make it clear. Doesn't God appoint governments?
Hello?
Doesn't God appoint governments?
Government are one of the different human institutions that God has appointed. He appointed the government.
Okay, I think we would have lost that signal. I just got a text from someone who says, he's referring to you. He suddenly he don't remember Jesus said, I'm managing with the give Caesar what is Caesar. Anyway, let me take this call and come back to that. Call 11 Voices.
Hello?
Good day, call 11 Voices.
Hey, the King.
Yes, sir.
I'm back for my second. Following up on Gregory, and the call dropped out. I hope that you're listening still because this one is related to you. The last conversation Gregory had with you, the king, he was talking about Bible and scriptures, and even though certain things are not in the Bible, he did mention, well, there are some recent discoveries, like he mentioned the Dead Sea Scrolls. He mentioned the other passages, you know, and he did not mention the Vulgate version, which was written by St. Jerome, which the King James Version came to be. He did not mention the Codex Sinaitica, which was found in Sinai. He did not mention the Codex Vaticanus. Anyways, these are some. But he did mention the Dead Sea Scrolls. And in the Dead Sea Scrolls, Greg, he was talking about other sources from the Bible that went beyond the 2,000 years. But in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it is said that, like in the Genesis that we have in the King James Version, the Genesis in King James Version say, in the beginning. The Dead Sea Scrolls did not say in the beginning. The Dead Sea Scrolls said, Greg, in a beginning. Why in a beginning? Because if you go to the book of John, it also has a beginning, or the beginning. If you go to the book of Job, we call Job, he have another beginning. So which one of the beginning? Which one is the dispensation of time? What this beginning, as opposed to the other beginnings, refer to? Not only that, the Dead Sea Scrolls say Abraham the Eve, and not the Hebrew, because the word Hebrew is only going back to the Vulgate version, which is Latin. And the Dead Sea Scrolls also say man should not, the Genesis in the King James said man should have dominion. Not so. The Dead Sea Scrolls said that man should live in unison with all other things, birds, bees, animals, everything. So here it is that the Dead Sea Scrolls establish what we would say in the Genesis in the beginning. It did not say in the beginning. It said in a beginning.
This is very academic.
It also say Abraham the Eve and not Abraham the Hebrew, because you have to go back beyond the Latin to the Paleo-Hebrew, not the Yiddish Hebrew, not the Hebrew that got contaminated and mixed in with the Germanic language. You're going back to the pure Paleo-Hebrew that are being discovered, like in Hebron in south of Palestine and those areas. So, yes, Greg, I understand where you're trying to come from, but you're referring to all the books and all the writings, and they are establishing something which is older than, if you're going to call Abraham. Who is Abraham? You say he's a Hebrew? We say Abraham is an Eve. Go to West Africa in the Volta regions of Ghana and other area in Benin and Togo. You will find the Eve. They are still there. Okay? So, Greg, this is not a debate. I don't like to debate. I teach. I only debate those of my peers.
Wow.
I am just laying the foundation of scriptures and books written that you're talking from the Essenes, and next time I'm going to tell you who the Essenes are, who wrote these things long time, and they are being unearthed now and being brought to the fore. So we are going back beyond the 2,000 years.
Okay, we got
Abraham the Eve in a beginning, and man shall have union with all other things, not dominion.
Wrap it up for me, Africa. I'm going to take a station break.
Yeah, those are mistranslation and double translation because of the languages. Thanks for listening.
Much appreciated. And we now take a word from our sponsors.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. clean, spacious aisles, and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortford's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Welcome back to Voices. And for my friend Gregory, the young lady did find the commentary about the SO countries, but because the audio is what she's from, NFN won't be able to broadcast that. She did find some link to the other comment about Anguilla, but it seemed to be in a comment piece. But this was general information, and people took it with humor because they were saying he don't even know where Anguilla is. He don't even know. He met the and he's the president. He's the president of St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John, etc. But he said he met the president. So when they got to do for us. And I have no qualm in saying that this reflected on America because he is actually known to be a doofus. And they elected him because of a certain agenda. Right? I'm going to go out on a limb and say I understand now why Putin was mollycoddling and trying to get Trump reelected because he had a long strategy plan for this war and had Trump been in the White House, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we go straight to the phone lines. Call your live on Voices.
Yes, good afternoon, Ken.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program.
Well, I'm not a big Bible scholar like you and Brother Gregory.
I'm trying to fit it, so I try to follow them. But go ahead.
I think somewhere in the Bible said the foolish man built his house upon the sand.
And people want to know that's a classic response.
Okay.
Yours is a classic response.
Okay, so yeah, Gregory, you need to go look into that one there, 'cause I don't think the Bible advises anybody to build on the beach.
Gregory said that governments were not given the authority by God to make these laws. So if it's not biblically ordained or sanctioned, government can't implement these policies. And there's zoning laws that say you cannot build thus close to the coastline. In Frigate Bay, Sugars were able to do so because he was given authorization by the then government. And building an area where there was a nightclub, we call it Anchorage, for many, many years. People went there to be entertained. Sugars was allowed to build next to it and then make a complaint saying that the noise coming from that club was offending him. And so the government passed zoning laws, which was noise abatement laws, to shut down the strip because Sugars complained, you can't sleep at night because of the noise, but you were allowed to build next to an establishment that had entertainment, which was, of course, and of course the government of the day passed noise abatement laws. And that being is right there. A violation of the zoning laws of Frigate Bay, but, etc. We're talking about boundaries.
If Greggy wants to take his advice from a book that was wrote over almost 6,000 years ago, where the government of those days don't even exist anymore, that the Roman Empire completely gone.
And I just said that.
Who was basically the world leaders at the time, who the Hebrews were subjugated under. So if you want to live your life from that, you got to if you like to that. I would like to touch on two things today.
Certainly.
The current fighting in Nevis over the week, I think it was over the weekend.
Yep.
And the push for reparations.
Go ahead, sir.
Right. Well, the king, I know, you're the man that play your trade in the hospitality industry.
Yes, sir.
And you would not accept that kind of behavior from no guest.
No at all.
This is the thing. I don't know if they need to put up at the airport that all the beaches in the Federation are public.
Somebody mentioned that.
I don't think we have any private beaches in St. Kitts, correct me if I'm wrong.
Somebody mentioned that.
Right. So when the Caucasian lady decided to say, get off my beach, I don't know if she put a beach in, she pack it and walk with it, and she's going to call the police.
She actually called the police?
Hello?
She had a phone calling the police.
Right. I don't know if she know the police officers who would have shown up look just like the children she was trying to get off the beach. There would have not been any race soldiers among them to gun down innocent black children. And my thing is, King, if you want to be racist, fine. But why don't you go and spend your vacation in countries with people who look like you? You ain't going to run into no black people. It's going to be all well and good. Everybody going to be the same complexion. But yes, you don't like, quote-unquote, black people. And you're going to come to a country with predominantly black people and want
to be served.
Exercise your white privilege.
To be served by.
Hello?
To be served by us.
Right. A lot of them just want to live out the
Fantasy.
colonial and the slavery fantasies coming down here, you know, to be served by the descendants of enslaved people. Not all of them, but some of them. But then this thing don't go viral. And then she husband and talk about he going to donate to school, however.
Yeah.
No, zero tolerance. Deport them. You cannot come back to the Federation within the next 3 to 5 years or whatever. Because if me or your king has to go where she come from,
that's a different matter. But in this case,
that kind of behavior.
In this case, we would have to give an explanation to the U.S. Embassy and State Department before we get blacklisted. Tourists can't go to St. Kitts. Let me tell you something. Had those folks on the beach reacted differently, would have been a big thing. Oh, the tourists, oh, they offend the tourists. And we have to be careful because we get blacklisted. The incident in Antigua where a guy refused to pay a taxi driver and take him to the police station, he went on bad, and the ship pulled out of Antigua. How dare you mess with the tourists who don't want to pay the taxi driver? You're out of order. I have told so many tourists, well, not so many, quite a few, get off my vehicle.
Right.
Get off. I'm not driving you with your attitude. Man in the back raised his voice at me. I said, well, why are you raising my voice at me? Get off my vehicle. And then the driver said, come, let me take you. I understand that.
And they can't go nowhere else and exhibit that kind of behavior because they go to Mexico, Cancun, and them places where they like to go to. You don't hear some of the tragic events that are happening in them places.
Well, they have to stay on the all-inclusive. They encourage to stay on the all-inclusive, same as in Jamaica. You know. I mean,
right.
I was in Jamaica some time ago, and I got lost. And I asked somebody downtown, how do we get to this? Woman said, come, let me show you. Take me about 3 different alleys, this and that, and say, oh, same day. And tell me, have a nice day. How you relate to people? People say, boy, you free, you can't go to Jamaica. I did. I asked, I am lost, how do I get? And she took me to some alley, the back alley, and this and that. And I said, okay, that's the place, have a nice day. How you relate to people? When you come here, bring your manners with you. We will greet you with good morning, good afternoon, how you doing? We don't even know who you are, but you bring that attitude, you get it back with in barrel full.
Right.
And I make no apologies for that.
Energy reflects energy, yes?
Oh, yes.
And I mean, you're going to get the apologies. Oh, white people ain't like that. Racism is not a thing anymore. I mean,
come on.
I don't need to forget the incident where the couple assaulted the police officer.
Had I been there, I mean, I look at that and say, really? This guy is being held back from hitting a police officer in a hotel lobby. Even the wife and the police are standing around like they don't know what to do. Austin on the port, when the tourists kick him, he give him a left hand. I work in the tourist industry for many years. I have to respect and husband it as good as possible. But when you come with your nonsense, diplomacy stops here. Bring a good attitude, you get that, because we're loving people. We live in paradise. We will share that with you. You're welcome to share, but be respectful.
That's all we ask for. We're not asking nothing, you know. That is not, I mean, it's not nothing that cannot happen, nothing that's impossible to happen. And quick, let me touch on the reparations.
Please.
Digging up to Jamaica, Belize, and the Bahamas, when they had the royal family coming down, showing off the fake smile, and we basically tell them where to take the crown and stick it, and that they need reparations for the centuries of abuse from these colonial powers, and which leads into the the slavery conversation. And some people would come up and say, but he had black people in Africa who were selling one another into slavery. Quick history lesson. The first real slavers on the African continent were the Arabs/Muslims.
Quite so.
So when people talking about black people were selling one another into slavery, the Islamic religion was so prominent in Africa at the time that, yes, quote-unquote black people who were Islamic were pushing that. They were selling slaves to the Dutch and the Portuguese. And then the Portuguese came in, and then the French and the Spanish and the British, who were all Christian. Let's not forget that part. The Christianity with Gregory would die on that hill for. Enslaved our ancestors like nothing, brought us to these parts unknown, stripped us of any identity that we had, and enslaved our people for generations. Do you know they had something called the slave Bible?
Yes, of course. They redacted certain scriptures just when we enforced.
It was illegal for slaves to know how to read.
And
The term backbenchers comes from the fact that black people were not allowed to sit down in the front of the church. They had to sit down behind. That's where the term backbenchers come from. They used to rope off the church.
Segregate,
right.
But the thing about that, they would find a black preacher. They would indoctrinate a black person, make him the preacher, so he would be preaching that thing to you also. It was important to listen to the Baptist preacher.
And to put the icing on the cake, they give us a picture when Jesus with Caesar Borgia was Michelangelo lover. He paint a picture he buy a friend and say, here, hold that, that's Jesus. And people would swear by the quote-unquote Bible that the image of Jesus, a white man with long stringy hair, and the Bible, who people are always quoting from, states the opposite.
Okay.
So my thing with this reparation push, I believe it is supposed to be cash payment. I mean, CARICOM has a 10-point plan, which is only one thing out of the 10-point plan really I agree with. Everything else, we get cash payments, we could fund it ourselves. We don't need the oppressor to have their hand in it again, to how to share out the money, and then they put the money into what they feel like we need. You understand?
Well, that's
because
a whole...
After slavery, if I'm not mistaken, the slave owners were given reparations for loss of their quote.
You're not mistaken.
Property, right?
You're not mistaken. That is what fueled Great Britain economic resurgence. They invested in British rail and those industries, and that catapulted. But it's part of the policy that still exists today. But there is an awareness. It's slow. It's coming, but there's an awareness. And Professor Hilary Beckles is doing his best. Other notable scholars are working along with him. We have our representation here in St. Kitts and the region. It's a slow process, but a big thing. Or how we can share the money? How we going to do this and that? They start to protest before they even ask when. They ask how we can share it and who is entitled to this and that. But you're entitled. Anyway,
you know exactly how to share the money, but yet you find that the UK government giving money to Ukraine and them other places who they ain't enslave nobody in Ukraine.
we gotta pause forward from a sponsor in this one, but that's a valid point, valuable point. So appreciate that. Respect the call. Okay, Sherwood.
Get your property properly covered today. Constructing your dream house or considering renovating your property? We will make sure your property is properly covered at Guardian General Insurance. Yes, at Guardian General Insurance, we will ensure that your property is properly covered with our private dwelling and contractors all-risk promotion. Visit or call us today and get affordable rates, premium financing arrangements from now until March 31st, 2022. We will properly cover fire, lightning, explosion, thunderbolt, bursting or overflowing of water tanks and...
Bust a move. Door busting savings happening now. Horsford's Automotive is busting loose. Huge door busting discount on all 2020 Nissan Urban 16-seater buses. Bust loose with as much as $25,000 off on all 2020 Nissan Urban 16-seaters. Yes, up to $25,000 off on all 2020 Nissan Urban 16-seater buses. But that's not all. Down payment busted. Absolutely no down payment. Payment on bill of sale busted. No payment on bill of sale. Payment on servicing for 12 months busted. Free servicing for 1 year. Buy groceries on gas for up to 3 months. Your choice. Busted. Your choice of absolutely free groceries or gas for 3 months. Payment on registration and licensing, tinting and accessories. All busted. That means they're totally free. Horsford Automotive is busting loose with its Bus a Move sales event on all 2020 Nissan Urban 16-seater buses. Bus a Move and get your new 2020 Nissan Urban 16-seater today for as much as $25,000 off. Bus a Move now at Horsford Automotive. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Okay, it's 5 minutes past 1. We got about 25 minutes before, and we have a caller online. Caller live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Yes, Socrates. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How about that?
I listen to the program all the time.
Beautiful.
What we're discussing
Concerning
the Bible and what all of that?
No, the topic today is boundaries. We were discussing on the issue that took place in Nevis a couple of days ago where the tourists on the beach. And somebody said they have black tourists too, so I must differentiate. A white tourist on the beach try to stop the inter-school primary students from practicing, running back and forth. She called the police for them, and when it happened, she lay down in the path where they were running. So we're discussing boundaries, what boundary they should not cross when they come to visit.
Well, my brother, the problem with us in St. Kitts and Nevis, we have too much a double standard. I'm not defending the tourists, but the problem with our politicians, we have too many double standards, Socrates.
Let me hear you. Go ahead.
You see how quick we jump? No.
No. It's not vain. It's me. I jumped on because it's a personal affront to my sense of pride as a person, a black person, and my national pride.
Let me make it clear. If I was on the beach, I could have a woman in this water.
There you go.
Nothing personal, but I would have trust in this water. I have a lot of friends. I'm not against nobody. Cause a lot of my friends are white people.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I'm looking at human beings.
Understood.
So the point I'm making is, Socrates, we must keep the standard and maintain the standard all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the police officer at the Marriott did what he did, when I listened to somebody call us them on this program, defending, just like what you said on the beach back then, the problem with us depends on who party in power, we defending foolishness.
They defended the police? I mean, I'm the guy who hit the police?
I'm talking about when the police were fighting with the man.
Yeah,
Yeah. What I'm saying to you, when you listen to the callers concerning the incident, people sorry for the police. The man, he was drunk. What did the minister then do for tourism? What did he do, Socrates?
I think it was
arrested.
No.
The man went out to St. Kitts the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Quite so.
And a slap on the wrist.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Who have done nothing in this country cannot get slap on the wrist. But that man, look what he did. The minister said, oh, he's a tourist, and he's this and he's that. But Curtis Cook and others in this country who have done nothing, been treated like criminals.
Curtis?
So look at the lady on the beach.
Curtis?
I listen to people with the double standard.
If I was there, Socrates would have been arrested.
That tourist was taken lock up at the Marriott, banned from St. Kitts, including the woman on the beach, lock up, banned from St. Kitts. Because it was disrespectful. You in Not your country. You're in somebody's country. You have to respect the people of the country. How are you going to be saying that they're disturbing you on a beach? You see his kids. It's the same thing with the man at the Marriott.
Mm-hmm.
You see police in uniform.
In uniform?
There's no question. But do we depend on who in? Do we defend our people?
You got a point.
Some of us went against the police. That is facts. I could think of your host in this program. People call in, oh, he was drunk. It's a tourist. You want us to get banned, and you want us this, and you want us that. When we going to stand up? We hear the same policies when Douglas was in power. You want us to get this, you want us to get banned, they're going to give a sanction, okay? So what we must do?
Mm-hmm.
What Rosa Parks did, Socrates, she sit down on the bus. She could have lost her life.
My topic today is boundaries. The boundaries that you cannot cross. There's certain boundaries you do not cross, I will not accept.
But Socrates, we shouldn't even be talking about boundaries. It's a matter of it's a matter of respect. You say it. It's a matter. It's just something, Socrates. I work for TDC for years, and many times I deliver, and the customer going on like idiot, but I keep me cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know where you be, they know that they're in a strange land. So what are you supposed to do? Just respect the people of the country.
Because
I don't know people say England racist. Let's use England. I've been in England for years. I never come across that because I got politely. Good day. Can you please show me XYZ? And people show me.
you walk with your respect. You walk with your respect. And that is what I do.
I go in Tiga. I walk in. Sir, excuse me. Can you please show me XYZ? And they show me.
Mm-hmm.
So how come all of a sudden they could come here and do the same? And some of us in the problem I have with this, you know, some of the politicians defending them, all of them. Because the problem is that, oh, man, they're tourists. Take it easy. Because you can't do this and you can't do that. So they must come and disrespect us. But we in our own country can't get away with nothing.
The case,
even when we ain't do nothing.
The case of the guy in Port Zante who hit the tourists, the country went up in arm. You can't do that. No matter it's still in court. Because they sanctioned him. And he put his lawyer on the case.
Nobody see what happened before. Nobody was asking what happened before. That's the problem. When it suits us, we ask for what happened. Mm-hmm. We jump on the policeman who killed Floyd. Oh, look, the policeman in the man's throat. But in some cases, we got solved the situation the same way, but we put him down on the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go in Socrates, because nobody don't defend, the problem is we depend on the party in. We try to jump up. Look at the police, I tell you. Lindsey Grant come forward and I thought I see that they did nothing to the man. The man got slapped on the waist. He didn't spend a second in jail. But if Curtis Cook would have done anything, you could come here, put ID. You shut me down where you're supposed to walk. But what do I do? Do I do man doing neighbors?
You remember when you asked me about that incident about Mr. Grant, just said to you I hadn't seen the video, and you were like, oh, you had to everybody see it. I did not see it.
Yeah, but here was my point, though. This is another scenario. Here's my point I'm saying, though. I'm saying to you, the difference is about the video. My point was, and the example, when I was working for TDC, you had people get harmed bad. All I do sometimes you have to hold, depending on who you be, you must know your position.
Correct.
All I'm saying, I understand about we see the video. What I see, Lindsey Grant should have been the bigger man. I'm not defending or going against. All I'm saying, he should have just walked up, let me cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let me cool. Let me just relax. That is unacceptable, Socrates. We've got to face the reality. It's just like you. You say you're driving taxi, and somebody tell me tourists come on your chance, and you will box them down. But you say to yourself, but watch it now, I mean, Socrates, plus me name XYZ, but let me cool. Wrong or right?
Yeah, you're right. I'm trying to read something from Chris at the same time.
I'm not disputing what happened. I'm just saying at that time with the situation. It's not that because I don't care who it is, I'm defending the wrong.
Hear this. Chris, your friend sent this to me, right? You know Chris Collins, right?
Yeah, man, I'm a card now.
He's saying, DMX and 50 Cents, swear little bad word. And the blacks will lock them up.
You see that? So you see? So here we go again. So you see, you understand it now?
Yeah.
Now, what DMX did so bad to what a woman do on the beach, to what the man do who bang up the people them.
Yeah, they got locked up. They got fight.
You know, Secretary, we just got all the problem they keep saying to us. We just have to keep it real. We need to stop the who backing who. Call it down the middle.
Yep.
Our children is coming behind.
I agree with you.
And a lot of us like to say our children is looking at us. Well, the children are looking at the politician.
Yeah, they have a larger role to play.
They're only looking at Curtis Cook behavior. They're only looking at faculty behavior. They're only looking at the girls who are working up a cannibal behavior. But nobody talking about what's going on presently now with the politician. Nobody watching the behavior. And as a lady called a while ago and said today, a youngster get beat up, bang up, brutalized. We're not discussing. A man get killed the other day. How much people have been missing? What is the stats on this?
What do you mean he
The
didn't
other day.
Not in this program. Not in this program.
Huh?
Nothing. They didn't call about this program, and that they didn't mention that in this program today.
No, that's what I said to you. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. It shows you we speak on things when it suits us. Because years ago, I could remember the big debate was crime. But look at the fight in the school with them youngsters. Look at the fella, look. Bloody in the school. Bloody. Nobody condemning nothing. The human bloody. Big cut on his belly.
Somebody sent me that.
People saying condemn.
But you know, somebody sent me that, but from the USVI, so I thought it happened there.
Thank you, Sakoti.
It happened in St. Kitts?
Right? Nobody talking about the karate man when they killed the other day.
Yeah.
Who's the karate man?
Henry.
Because some of us saying on Pauline, because we party in power, because we're under control, we're paying the peace, so we don't want to talk about it.
That's a sad piece. That's a sad piece. But Curtis?
No, I'm just saying, Sakoti. But I didn't have a problem when Dr. Suzy was killing the Queen. That was right. But let us do the same thing today. How much people got missing? With the statistician.
So let me ask you a question.
Missing? We find the man, thank God.
Yeah.
But what about the other fellow missing? The kidnapping. But with suits and choosing where we need to talk. People, let us forget about the politics and deal with the situation head on. We have a very serious situation in St. Kitts, and a lot of us is afraid to talk about it because it's not suit our party.
Before we
I think I said enough. You have a lovely day.
Okay, I was going to ask you before we go to news break. Are you still there? I was
Yeah, go ahead.
gonna ask you if you were vexed with me when I sang "No More Rat-tat-tat-tat."
No. Nothing wrong with the song.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with Calypso. We don't get involved.
All right, appreciate that.
Why it does not get involved? Why we even big like sing and Douglas? We realize, let me make it clear. We don't depend stupidness. Use a Calypso and all I'm saying, we must keep the standard all the time.
Okay,
But
be consistent.
A matter of fact, we don't really like Calypso.
All right.
I don't really into the Calypso like that.
But I get your point. We have to be consistent.
What we sing is a business. We just have to stay above board and continue calling out these politicians. Every one of them who want to come in and who in. You have a good day.
Much appreciated. As we pause now for another word from our kind sponsors.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
I want to say good afternoon to some of the fan base. We're talking about Brenda up there in Sheffield, not Sheffield, what I'm saying, Charlotte, just back home from Dubai. We have Rosemary in New York. We've got Jennifer Richards over in Atlanta. We got Anguilla online, and they're all making their comments. And of course, Chris up there in New York. Welcome to another episode of Voices. We got about 12 minutes to go before we wrap things up today. And the topic today was boundaries. We're still debating boundaries. This very vital and very fragile tourism industry that we we engage in, how we are supposed to interact with the guests when they cross the line, handle it with kid glove, be a bull in a china shop. We have to come at a certain level of maturity in dealing with certain things. But something just rub you the wrong way that you have to scream out, not in St. Kitts. You hear the song, Only in St. Christopher? Let me read this article again because people who may have tuned in a bit late don't quite understand. It's an article that starts with, "This is beautiful Caribbean island of Nevis. Woman reportedly apologized. Husband to give financial donation. Respect is not for sale." They continue, "Female Caucasian visitor to Nevis has reportedly apologized after causing a stir on the small, tranquil island of Nevis, best known for its hospitality, when she apparently became annoyed that children were running along one of the best beaches. I understand she got peeved that local children were running around disturbing her relaxation and allegedly ordered them off the beach. I understand she got peeved that local children were running around disturbing her relaxation and allegedly ordered them off the beach." Let me take this call. Caller 11 Voices. Good afternoon, Caller 11 Voices.
Greetings again, my brother.
Yes, yeah.
As you listen to the reasoning about beaches, for moving our vacation, realistically, most touchable. Remember, we didn't come here from planes,
We land on the beach. We land on the beach.
I see, let us remind ourselves this. I'm going to ask a special favor on this program. There's a song by the OJs. The OJs. The group that group from America.
How we call the OJs?
Ship Ahoy. Ship Ahoy. They're asking DJs on this radio station, please take note, go in your library. It is called Ship Ahoy. And I want us to listen with our inner ears to this song as a people. Remember, it came via the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about us who are still dispersed. Us who are still dispersed. It's not everyone was taken away from the continent.
I know.
We know the continent is vast and the people are innumerable. Like the sands of the seashore.
Mm-hmm.
So, us who was taken away, this story here is quite a story. We survive it. See how brown Bobby? You see Bob complexion?
Yep.
Yet he is singing, we are the black survivors. So, it came via the sea, And while we are listening to this reason here about beach, and what has taken place. What I said, you man apologize?
And the husband donated some cash.
Your husband apologized?
She apologized and he want to make a financial donation to the school or something of that nature.
Financial contributor.
Mm.
Well, I give thanks for the generosity, but I don't think we should accept it. With the apology, once it is sincere, once it is, because it's not all of them say so,
Mm-hmm.
And see, I just said it a while ago. Them say so because we allow it to happen to us.
Time and time again.
Time and time again. Once we hold that transformation as a noble, royal people, the original people, we are Lucy children, Them people is our children, We're the original people.
Understand the genealogy.
What a sport. So, it just we could take we stand for transformation, but I wanted to interject that beach thing.
Yes.
The way we came, the way we was brought, dragged here by against our will. Long time ago we write a poem. Long years ago, but remember some lines in it. It's the same thing when we write it. We preferred to jump in passing shock direction than coming into enslavement.
A lot of people did.
And humiliation. We wrote them lines there in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people did jump over and decide to die with their dignity than being enslaved. Some mothers jumped over with the children. It was real. They understood what was happening to them. And because of the sense of dignity, because people think that we were just ordinary people. We're great race.
Things, make up story, this is a myth. It happened. We jumped. We didn't want to leave home. We didn't want to leave our rightful home. And we know the intention, the way we were treated, the way we was captured. The way we was arranged in the dungeons there at the West Coast. The way the treatment we got before we even entered into the Jesus ship. And what the name again? Yeah? We don't know that further down the road it's going to be worse.
Well,
we prefer to jump in passing shock direction than coming into enslavement and further humiliation, etc., etc.
Long story short, we have been supplanted into these lands that we now can claim as our own. He was saying, claim as our own.
Watch here, and I want to tell you something to you, and I want to deal with it. We traveled in before we were brought, Did you get that?
No. Repeat, please.
Oh, the Moors.
Oh, yeah.
Went over, went over the Alps and going through up and teach them all how to bathe.
Yep.
We traveled in these parts here and mingled with the original inhabitants, who is our different things same way. Before we were brought by force in great numbers in their ships. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
We are the original navigators and travelers in earth. Blessed Lord.
Thank you for your contribution. Much appreciated. We've got about 4 minutes to go before we wrap up today's program. If anybody want to weigh in on the topic of the day, boundaries that we must have when we travel or when people travel to our shores, and the respect that must be given. Either way, you cross those boundaries. And let's take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices. Welcome to the program. Okay, we may have a little disconnect with that person. And just in case, we got about 4 minutes. Anyone want to get on the call? 466-098-9662. And we have another call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Yes, good afternoon, man. How are you?
Okay, yourself. You got about 4 minutes, so let's talk. Talk to me.
Yeah, real quickly. I'm just responding to the incident that happened there on my village beach. I'm just calling on behalf of my village, my fellow villagers, Cotton Ground. And this is an incident. It might seem like isolated, but guess what? This is an incident that needs to be addressed because, I think that lady was out of order, bro.
That's all. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you just call it. You got to call it straight for what it is. That lady, who she is, she was out of order, bro. And the government, even the local representative in that area, I call on her, bro, Cleon Stapleton Simmons, to look into this incident, bro, because as isolated as it seems, when people get agitated, they take things upon themselves, bro. Suppose somebody reacted to that lady and damaged her and did something bad to her, then the whole federation will be tarnished.
Blacklisted.
And guess what? People can't wait to blacklist Sinkis and Nevis like that because we got to be careful, man, because the tourist industry is very vital to our economy.
Also.
And Sinkis and Nevis, even before the pandemic came, was doing real good. And we are a sought-after destination now. We in the open now. This was not back in the days when we was like virgin territories. We on the world stage right now. So, our representatives, then, bro, they got to step up and they got to tackle some of these issues when they come up.
Especially for those children. Those children need to understand what happened. Spoken to in the right context to understand this cannot be allowed. They need to understand what they have to cherish as their heritage. So that conversation should be happening there. Now the husband is trying to pay reparations.
Yeah,
It's
man,
a form
totally
of reparation for what happened.
as children, you don't know what a great magnitude that this could have happened in. You know, what could have transpired.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the children, them, they don't have the experience, so they need to be counseled and talked to, bro.
Yes.
You don't need this
They need
interaction with such. You don't need the negative interaction with such tourists like this. And you know, on behalf of my fellow villagers, man, Cotton Ground, you know, you guys over there in Cotton Ground Village, man, y'all big up yourself and be responsible and be careful, man. You know, be careful. We don't want to have that negative exposure. All right.
I am grateful
So
for your.
that's
I am grateful for
that's
your
my take,
contribution.
man.
I am really happy with the contribution. And we both identify that the children must be part of this conversation as to what happened. So they won't go to feel where
definitely.
this is the norm and it's supposed to happen. No.
No, man. Those tourists, man. The government, they probably need to put out some PSA bulletins, you know, advising the tourists that we don't want this type of interaction with our citizens. And you know, they have to be mindful, bro.
I don't know if they go that far.
I hope somebody address this situation and put some type of bulletin out in the open in the public, so the tourists as well as the locals can understand how to interact with each other. Because we don't want to St. Croix Fountain Valley to happen in St. Kitts and Nevis,
We're
bro.
out of time, right? But I want to thank you for being part of that conversation and see how guilt is causing the husband to offer reparation. We make. Want to say thanks to all our callers, viewers, listeners who were part of this program today. My name is Socrates. We have out of time on another episode of Voices. Hopefully, let's see what Wednesday can't come. Maybe it's Friday because you know the main thing. And want to say thank you to management and once again to all the folks who were part of this program. Peace, love, and a much better tomorrow. Thank you.